I think you're spoiled. You have too many choices. We sometimes forget that having choice is a luxury. I can remember when I was a little kid, I either ate what my mother cooked for dinner or I starved. I didn't have the luxury of choice. Now we can choose anything and everything. We can choose which apps we want to be a part of. We can go and pick a new mate. We can decide what food we want to order. We have an unlimited amount of choice, and I think that we forget that choice is a luxury. You are either a winner or you're a loser. You're either going up or you're going down. You're either free or a slave. You are either woke or you are asleep. Those are called binary choices, and it's tough for people to understand just having two choices in a world that inundates us with unlimited choice. I know you don't like the candidates that are on your ballot come November. Guess what? They probably don't like you either. But you only have a binary choice. You either want this country to excel and succeed and explore new industries and be honest and fair about racial inequity. You either believe in climate change or you don't. You believe in democracy or you don't. You want a country that will do whatever it can to help people, all people, regardless of gender identity, regardless of national origin, or you want to take the low road and vote for the person that only wants to help himself with no regard for anyone else. Choice is a luxury. Unfortunately, too many of us forget that it's a luxury. Binary choice is all you have in November. I hope you choose wisely.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Alex Tellez. Over in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers have the next 2 days off as their first game post-All-Star break is scheduled for Saturday in Minnesota versus the Twins. First pitch is scheduled for 6:10. The Brewers sit at first place in the NL Central with a 4.5-game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. And finally, over in basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks Summer League team gets the day off this Thursday as they prepare for their game on Friday versus the Phoenix Suns at 3 o'clock. The Bucks Summer League team is still searching for their first win of the Summer League after losing their first 3 games. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. One United Bank is the nation's largest black-owned bank, founded back in 1968 in Boston. The bank compares itself to a GPS system for financial services, tailored to help black Americans navigate the money world. Chairman and CEO Kevin Cohey says One United Bank is successful because it focuses on problems the average person faces.
You're driving to work. Your truck's broke. It's going to cost $600. You don't have $600. You need to borrow. You need an emergency, small balance, short-term loan in order to solve your problem. That's a One United Bank product. You can't get a checking account because there's something that occurred in your youth. That's a One United Bank product.
One United Bank prides itself on helping to empower people in the black community through its products and services. Helping people in the lower and middle class face small everyday problems is a big part of that mission. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
To Truth in the Afternoon, I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. We're live at the Republican National Convention, and let me tell you, it's been a barn burner this week. Tonight, Donald Trump is going to give his speech. I'll be sitting in section 117 or something somewhere and just listening to that. So, yes, my day started at about 8 o'clock this morning. It'll end at the rate I'm going about 8 o'clock tomorrow. And then I stumbled across two people who just happened to, they were doing something. They were moseying and probably eating or something. Some guy calls himself the Assembly Speaker, Robin Voss. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Ken. Thanks for having us on.
I haven't seen you in quite a while. So I'm sitting there minding my own business and somebody comes up, hey, where's Tory Lowe? It's like I recognize that voice from somewhere. He's hollered at me before. And we've also got Glenn Grothman from Wisconsin's 6th District. Congressman, good to see you.
We were just hiding out, trying to get away from
Just hiding out, trying to get away.
Hey, what are the biggest cities in your congressional district?
Oshkosh is 1, Sheboygan's 2.
So Oshkosh, Sheboygan, okay.
Fond du Lac 3, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
And so I wanted to get both of you in the same place together because I don't want to talk about anything that has to do with the Republican Party.
Okay.
My question, because you had such a intricate input on MPS and some of the things that are happening with the city.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm happy or sad that we got a 2% hike. I thought it was a little onerous that it kept a little tight rein on Milwaukee, and I don't think we'll ever be able to hire that many police officers because people just don't want to be cops, right? But the flip side, it saved the city. So, on that instance, I have to say thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
But when it comes to MPS, both of you gentlemen have been around the state long enough that there's something fundamentally wrong. This morning, MPS put out where their 2024-2025 year has significantly changed. They're going to convert to 25 early childhood classrooms at 17 schools. They were at 25. They've cut that down. Now the classrooms are supposed to be around 20 students. My question is, why was there funding for 3K and 4K when all of the studies have shown that by the time you get to 3rd grade, everything you've learned in 4K and 3K is gone?
Well, Ken, let's first start by saying that I do not have a great deal of confidence in the leadership of MPS today.
Okay.
I think that what happened with the basically financial irregularities where they weren't doing the basics, what any school district should do, should make us all pause and say, how are they choosing to spend the dollars they already have? Then they go to referendum without really telling the people all the facts, and they get a $252 million tax increase, which for the average family listening to this radio station is going to be pretty onerous in light of
of what's happening with food costs and gasoline and everything else. So, look, I want kids to succeed. I have been a huge supporter of school choice. We've increased spending on public schools every single year that I've been in the legislature because we want to make sure that kids have a good education. But we need to have some accountability built into the system so that if kids are graduating, they can read. If kids are actually going to move from one grade to the next, they're not being pushed ahead just by social advancement. So I like the idea of having early education. I think it's a positive for those kids. But I think that if we don't have some kind of accountability built in, it's not going to work.
Congressman Grothman, you seem to have an issue with some of what's being said.
I agree with what you say. I try to tell these people in Washington, you can teach a kid to read when they're 3, you can teach a kid to read when they're 5, but by the time they're 8, it's all together. Right?
Yes and no. See, part of the issue is that we stopped teaching reading in the 3rd grade. I think that's a travesty, but we only not teach it because these places like the NEA and come in and say this is what's best for your kid, when really it's just what's best for the union. Now, I'm not anti-union. I'm in several unions. But at some point, when you're not getting the outcome, like what can the federal government do?
Let me give you another story. Can I give you a specific more story?
Absolutely.
Because I spent 2 years of my life in MPS.
Okay. 2 whole years?
2 whole years. Only 2 years on Congress Avenue, Ralph Waldo Emerson School. And after 2 years at MPS, my parents moved out to Thiensville, the suburbs, and I was way behind the other kids and things. You know why that was?
Why is that?
Because at the time, MPS used what they call whole language teaching kids how to read.
Okay.
And they used phonics in Thiensville, and the difference between where the kids were in MPS and Thiensville schools was, as far as I can see, entirely attributed to the way they taught reading at that time. And I have a feeling that didn't end for years thereafter.
We just ended it. We actually just passed legislation in Wisconsin to ban certain types of teaching methods. We want to have everybody go back to phonics. We want to make sure that kids learn how to read early. We need to have literacy coaches to teach these teachers how to teach the correct way, because colleges were teaching them the wrong way to instruct reading. That's why we have so many kids that aren't at grading level. And you and I know, if you can't read,
you can't do anything.
Pretty much anything else.
Science,
nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Now, the flip side to that is I know of very significant, positive, successful stories that have come out of MPS, and they've done great things.
100%, yeah.
You know, so if you look at my issue is that everybody seems to think that MPS is just this predominantly black, but they're only 49%, right? But we have this thing in our mind when we think about poverty, when we think about trouble voting, we always tend to think about black people when in fact everybody can have that trouble.
It's really socioeconomic more than racial.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But the problem is we tend to think of black people when we think of socioeconomic, like it's only going to hit them. I've had conversations with Republicans here where I've even said, you know, it's funny every time you mention minority or something that's wrong or poor, immediately after you say that, you say black.
Oh.
Like, why are you programmed? And so that's one of the things I also want to talk about. The Republican Party seems to be wired in a certain way that they don't really see places like Wisconsin where the diversity is a positive thing. You know,
well, that's one thing you can say about Donald Trump. I mean, I'm telling you, if there's anybody who is going to rewire the political world that we live in, it's Donald Trump. I mean, he is making an aggressive play for folks who live in every zip code in our country. He wants black voters. He wants Hispanic voters. He wants white and men and women, gay, straight, church-going, agnostic. Every single person Donald Trump's trying to reach out to.
But the
left isn't doing that. The left only wants people who agree with them.
But the problem is we don't see that. We don't see it in people that work with him. We don't see it in his business. We don't see. We didn't. We saw it to a point. No. I mean, in terms of showing America that.
Don't forget, before Donald Trump was a candidate, he was touted as a person of incredible importance to folks who worked in the NAACP. He was friends with an awful lot of black leaders. There was no problem with that until he said he was a Republican. Then all of a sudden people started to say, oh, your racial identity and what you've done for us isn't as important as your political identity. That's wrong no matter who it is.
True. So then why not show it while you're a Republican president or while you're a Republican candidate? Because I don't see anybody in his camp
Oh, I don't know. I mean, let me tell you, I've been coming to conventions since 1996. This is I've been to every one. This by far is the most racially diverse. I think there are people from every ethnic background. You know, you have people who you might stereotype and say, I'm surprised they're here, right? People who are full tattoos, right? People who are old, young, rich, poor, all different backgrounds. And I think that's the difference between us and the Democratic Party, because you're not really allowed to come in the room unless you fit the stereotype that they have. Donald Trump showed with the speeches this week, you can be the head of a union, you can be a guy who thinks unions are evil. You can be black, you can be white, you can be rich, you can be poor, you can be any career, any background, and you are welcome in this party. I think that's something that we haven't always done a very good job telling.
Congressman, I have to ask, an African-American man or woman, Hispanic, someone that's non-white who's listening to you right now, why would they want to look at the Republican Party?
Well, first of all, and you can maybe correct me on this, to me, what's good for one is good for all, okay? I kind of don't like it when a politician said, this is my black agenda, this is my Hispanic agenda, or whatnot, right? Okay. Whatever our agendas are, affect everybody.
But what lens does that agenda come through?
Well, it comes through an agenda. We were just talking about reading, right? Okay. If you're reading whole language, that hurts everybody. It hurt me when I was a 5-year-old kid, and apparently it hurt the Hispanic kids. It hurt everybody until Robin changed it last year. Okay. So I don't really consider that a black issue or a Hispanic issue, or just an issue, right? We have a welfare program right now, which I don't, which to me dramatically discourages marriage. Okay, that affects everybody, and it ought to be changed. We ought not to be giving people, or people ought not be losing $20,000 a year because getting married. But that affects the white people in Fond du Lac. It affects everybody. And I know there's some politicians who feel like I've got to have my Hispanic agenda and I have to have my black agenda. I don't think that's necessarily true, because don't most things affect everybody?
But isn't it important to give people what your constituents are asking for? If they're asking for these particular things, you have to admit that there's some things that are indigenous to communities, cultures, even if you want to remove the race piece, right? There are just some issues in Sherman Park that aren't present down in Walworth County. The outcome might be the same, but what causes that issue isn't the same. And I think part of the pushback is when you paint everything with a broad brush. There's a lot of streaks in there where you miss people.
Well, you can give me examples of issues that affects one group more than another group.
Housing in Milwaukee, in terms of how you deal with sending money back to Milwaukee, say the state, right? The funding mechanism for sending money back to the schools, I think, is bizarre and broken, but then how do you fix it?
Everybody around the state thinks the school funding formula is screwed up.
Right.
And by the way, they're probably
wrong. But it impacts the largest school district more than it does Green Lake. And Green Lake's not that rich. So
Green Lake actually is pretty, it's very property.
Yeah. But not that much.
And they spend a lot per pupil in Green Lake.
Because they've got less. Sure.
Right. But when I look at the school aid formula, people bitch about it in Kewaskum, people bitch about it in Newsburg, people bitch about it everywhere. And I quite frankly think it's about as good as it can be. And if you change it, it can be worse rather than better.
Well, let's look at MPS, though. Just one example.
Exactly.
Why does MPS continue to keep empty buildings when their number of students is down by a quarter?
In my estimation, and from information I have, it's because they don't want to sell them to other schools.
Exactly. But that's what I worry about, that a lot of these issues are self-brought on, right? The school district is the problem.
I want to give you a kind of follow-up on what Robin said, and we were talking about this off the air. When I first got involved in politics in 1993, my treasurer at the time was the guy who did electrical work from West Bend. He said, Glenn, I got a tip for you. They keep calling us in Milwaukee to update the electrical work in these empty schools in Milwaukee Public Schools. I don't mind making money off of it, but is that right that they keep calling this electrician from West Bend in Milwaukee to fix the electricity in the empty schools. So this is a problem that's been going on for 30 years.
But I would then question the integrity of the electrician who kept taking the money even though it was being wasted. So you knew it was being wasted. You could have done or said something about it to your legislature.
Well, he did, though. He did
but they didn't do anything about it. They kept taking the money.
We did do something about it. We tried to pass legislation when I was there, forcing Milwaukee to sell the schools. They just continue to say, go to hell.
Well, then we have to restructure how schools are structured. We can't, at some point, allow school boards to run roughshod and have the union buy the school board. The school board runs the school the way it's going to lose. I guess we're there now. So.
Yeah, we're really in a world of hurt because, look, even if we put reforms in today, it takes 12 years for a kindergartner to get to high school graduate, much less on to whatever training they have after high school.
Correct.
So we have wasted a couple generations as we have argued about what the right solution is. To me, it's pretty easy. Pay teachers well, make sure that kids when they graduate have the basic skills, no social promotion, the hope that they can read, they can do math, they know some basic United States history, and that they are ready to work when they walk outside the high school door. It seems like that should be something that Republicans, Democrats, teachers, administrators, unions, non-unions should all agree on. So somehow we have to realize that it should be about the kids, and I feel like too many times it's about the adults. That's our problem.
30 seconds before we go. Congressman Grothman, last words.
Well, just glad that you have listeners listening to you, finding out what's going on in the world. We talked a little bit today about the mucked up people who run MPS, and we hope in the future we pay a little bit more attention to getting on that school board and straighten things out.
Are you willing to work with those mucked up people who run the school board?
Well, I don't represent the city of Milwaukee, but if you want, you can bring me in some night, and I'd be happy to work with it. I mean, usually, by the way, there are voices in Milwaukee, I think, when Madison or Washington decides to weigh in big cities, they say you're taking away the local control. Because it was the local people in Milwaukee who elected the bozos who are screwing up the school district.
No. 30 seconds, Speaker.
Dr. Harris, I appreciate you having us on. It's always good to see you. I hope we get another chance to do it because the most important thing I like about my job is a chance to answer questions, listen to people, hear their thoughts, and try to find some kind of consensus.
Sounds good. Robin Vos, Speaker, Wisconsin Assembly and 6th District of Wisconsin. I never get all those congressional districts and names and numbers and all that. Glenn Grothman, it's great to have you.
Thanks again. You take care.
All right, take care. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. When we come back, what else is next? We'll be right back.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention, returns next on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
It's that time of the year, Truth Nation, for our Truth Walk Against Violence. Violence is a problem which impacts all of us, but together we can make a difference. This is why I need you to join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 20th from 8:30 a.m. to noon for our second annual Walk Against Violence. Food will be provided by Cousin Subs. Join our Walk Against Violence Saturday, July 20th. Visit 1017thetruth.com to sign up today. Together, we can bring an end to violence. The Truth Walk Against Violence is sponsored by Cousin Subs. Better spread, better subs, Cousin Subs.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 1017 The Truth.
There are individuals in our community who certainly need health services, a variety of health services. What if they do not have health insurance? How can you serve that population?
Our community health center allows patients to come to our clinic regardless of their ability to pay, and that's part of our federal funding. You can come to our clinic and be seen based on what we call a poverty level. So anyone 200% or below a poverty level can be seen in our clinic for anywhere from $20 to $40 for that visit. So in other words, if your visit is a $400 visit and you fall on our sliding scale where you pay $20 for your visit, you would not be responsible for the $400. You'd only be responsible for $20 for that visit. Also, our pharmacy prescriptions are very, very affordable as well. Where you would normally pay, let's say for an inhaler, $240 a month for an inhaler, at our facility that would cost you about $4 or $5.
It's very good to know you guys have a sliding scale that makes it very, very affordable.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven Center for Home Care, a successful Center for Employment, a Center for Trauma Recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. That was Robin Voss, who is the speaker, who worked out the deal regarding the tax in the city with the mayor and the county executive. That was the third wheel in that trifecta of I guess, can you call a wheel a trifecta? That was the third horse in the trifecta as it relates to how we got to our 2% tax here in the city of Milwaukee. And the 0.2 or 0.7 or 0.9 or whatever, the 7.9, whatever it is in Milwaukee County. Does it really matter by now? Well, in actuality, it really doesn't. And so one of the reasons I wanted to have them in is to discuss that. MPS's early education, early childhood program is they haven't been notified of federal funding, even though they were supposed to be notified at the end of June. And so now we're in July, we're approaching August in 2 weeks, and so they had to reshuffle. They'll open additional full-day K-3 classrooms to provide families and with programming similar to Head Start, but I don't understand the difference between K-3 and Head Start when I thought Head Start started at 4K. And so former Head Start sites will convert to 25 early childhood classrooms at 17 schools. The schools that will have a 3K kindergarten. I don't understand why we have a 3K kindergarten when you're 3. Those are social skills that should be taught at home, but sometimes parents can't teach at home because they've got to work, and so I don't, and if there's an educator that can call and explain that one to me, 833-212-1017, or hit me on the talk and text line. The 17 schools that will have a 3-year-old kindergarten classroom or more were noted include Academia de Language, or Language Academy, Alba, Allen Field, Bethune, Browning, Bruce, Congress has 2 classrooms, Deffler, Forest Home, 2 classrooms, Grant Gordon, 5 classrooms, Hayes, 2, Hawthorne Lincoln Avenue, 2 classrooms, Longfellow, Lowell, Manitoba, Maple Tree, and View. This also includes monolingual and bilingual education. So what they're telling you is that if families have chosen one of those 17 schools, you don't really have to do anything. The schools that will not have new K-3 classrooms to replace Head Start, Auer, Avenue, Carson, Franklin, I hope your school's not on this list, Oliver Wendell Holmes, Jackson, Cagle, Kilbourne, King Elementary, Kluge, La Follette, Metcalf, Milwaukee Academy of Chinese Language, Mitchell, Obama, Marvin Pratt, River West, Sherman Seaford, Thurston Woods, and Westside.
see Kid Rock, a little Hulk Hogan action.
And so families who choose one of the 20 schools that will not have a K-3 class has to choose another location from one of the 17 schools I read. So what do you do? How do you do that?
Hey, Brandon.
833-212-1017 is the number. It's unfortunate, but some of the issues that they had, some of the problems that they had, that's 20 Head Start sites that will now be closed here in the city of Milwaukee. And I think it's unfortunate because our kids are missing something. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Traffic, sports, and weather. Up next, we are live from the RNC.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention, returns next on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know whether it's a new home or a new car, you've worked hard to achieve your dreams, and we work hard to protect them so you can enjoy the utmost peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
What do you get when you combine grilled-to-order deliciousness with only the finest Wisconsin cheeses? Cousin Sub's new Wisconsin cheese steaks, featuring either steak or chicken, bacon, cheddar cheese, sautéed onions, and their new Cheddar Supreme cheese sauce. It's a match made in dairy heaven. And the decadence doesn't stop there. Pair your Wisconsin cheesesteak with their new Orange Dream Shake. All are available for a limited time only. Order in store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
We have northbound on Highway 100 right over I-94, the right lane blocked. There is a vehicle fire they're taking care of there, so try and stay away from that if you can. Save you a little bit of aggravation. Onto the freeway, southbound on 41, slowing from Appleton Avenue all the way down almost to Burleigh. We got southbound on 43 backing up from Silver Spring down past Burleigh. And we've also got some delays eastbound 94 in pockets, basically from 76th Street to Holly Road, and then again from Mitchell Boulevard all the way in through the Marquette and onto northbound 43. Really doesn't let up till you get past Fond du Lac Avenue. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 61. Tomorrow, sunny and nice, a high of 78. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Alex Tellez. Over in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers have the next 2 days off as their first game post-All-Star break is scheduled for Saturday in Minnesota versus the Twins. First pitch is scheduled for 6:10. The Brewers sit at first place in the NL Central with a 4.5 game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. And finally, over in basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks Summer League team gets the day off this Thursday as they prepare for their game on Friday versus the Phoenix Suns at 3 o'clock. The Bucks Summer League team is still searching for their first win of the Summer League after losing their first 3 games. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, Truth Nation, our Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Mixer Series has been a hit this summer, so you want to join our Truth team for Beyond the Mic with Sherwin Hughes. Why Sherwin's name in here? What's Sherwin's name doing in here? Anyway, the Happy Hour Mixer Series on Friday, July 26th. He had a phenomenal time last time this was on. I'm just teasing. From 4 to 7 p.m., we'll be at Mobay Cafe, 1022 South 1st Street in Milwaukee. There will actually be delicious cocktails, great conversations. We're going to have a Chula Vista Resort and Water Park giveaway. And yours truly, me, Dr. Ken Harris, will be doing my show live from 4 to 6. Right at Mobay Cafe, 1022 South 1st Street. So mark your calendars, Friday, July 26th, 4 till 7. 833-212-1017 is the number. So here's the thing. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, okay. First of all, I want to offer my apologies if I came off a little aggressive. So
when? Yesterday? What, yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday, I think it was, or the day before.
Al,
yes?
Apology accepted, but apology not needed. I understand sometimes we get emotional and we are fired up because we care, and you care, and I understand that.
Okay, well, I'm kind of confused because I was reading an article in the RNC. They were looking to sway black voters for Trump, but Deontay Johnson said yesterday, we don't need black voters. We don't need the black vote for the RNC. So I'm like, well, how can you say first you need black vote, but then you say you don't need black vote?
Well, I think what was pushed is they want black votes, but in terms of the numbers that they have, they don't need black votes. What black votes mean in switching over from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party is that it solidifies a loss for Democrats. But they've won without the black vote.
All right, and then the other thing is, there was another gentleman on from the Frederick Douglass, some type of organization. Right. He talked about, black people getting away from morals. But my thing is how can you say black people are getting away from morals and the Grindr app keeps shutting down ever since the RNC been here?
I don't know what that means, and I don't know if you can equate RNC being in Milwaukee and Grindr or Tinder or any of them shutting down.
Well, they released a statement saying ever since the RNC been here, that Grindr been shutting down. Because
well,
a lot
don't you think that that's some propaganda any more so than any other side would throw out propaganda if they disagree with a particular political party? Would you at least be open to that? So
it's a possibility.
Is this the first time it's broken down? Is this the first time it's shut down?
No, it hasn't. But what I'm saying is,
come on, it's an app. It has to have broken down before.
I understand, but from life experiences, on
Grindr or Tinder.
Well, from just life experience, period. A lot of these Republicans who always say they're about morals be some of them be the same ones doing the exact opposite. And I know a lot of them. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Well, because some of them, they'll just come out and say, hey, I'm looking da-da-da-da-da. Some of them just walk up to you. I'm just, that's how some of them are. There's every bowl when they want what they want.
Are they the only ones that do it, or do Democrats do that too?
No, I'm sure Democrats do it too, but I'm just saying when they sit here and say, we're getting away from morals, how can you get away from morals when also
do you think the black community is getting away from morals? What do you think about it?
I think a lot of people.
No, don't do that. I didn't ask you about a lot of people. See, that's what I'm talking about. When people ask very specifically about black community, you generalize. Are black people moving away from morality? Really? With all the kids that we got born without wedlock, with all the broken homes and the parents that are not there.
Well, can I respond to that?
I thought you did, but go right ahead.
Okay. Well, majority of people was created out of sin, and some people did not get married until they started leaking from their breasts.
So now you're speaking for everybody now?
No, I'm just giving you the facts of life. That's all.
No, as from your point of view.
Well, you can say that too, because when the 40s and 50s, when girls was getting pregnant, they would send them away because they were ashamed and they would force them to be married. But when you look at some of our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they was not married, and you still love them unconditionally. And you didn't say, well, because you wasn't, you would say, I still love you unconditionally. So when they say morals is an individual belief. So for me, I don't feel black people got away from morals.
Okay. I can get with that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All
right. And that made logical sense. I mean, I get it. So then, would morals include throwing trash on the street? Does morals include speeding and driving and having accidents and crashing and killing people that are waiting on a bus at 11 o'clock at night? Does it include shootings, homicides? I mean, 9-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds being shot and killed? Like, does it include that? I hope not. Because if that means our morals are okay, then we got some work to do. 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. We're live from the RNC. We'll be right back.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention, returns next on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call, That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call, That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 1017 The Truth.
So we do have a drug take-back box at Outreach Community Health Centers. So if people have medications at their home that they want to get rid of, they could bring it to our pharmacy and we'll dispose of it for them. Anything that's not being used, anything that's kind of out of date, even antibiotics, any other medications, definitely it's better to safely dispose of it, and definitely don't flush it down the toilet because that puts it back into our drinking water supply. So
why is that a bad thing, Annie? Why do we not want to flush our medication?
Yeah, so it contaminates our drinking water. It contaminates our waterways, so our rivers and lakes don't benefit from all of those medications entering into the water supply. And we don't also enter. We have great drinking water in the city of Milwaukee, but they can only filter out so many of the pharmaceuticals. So as much as we can to reduce the pharmaceutical supply in our drinking water, we'll all be better off.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention Milwaukee County residents. Are you prepared for the unexpected? From sudden storms to unforeseen emergencies, readiness is key. Take charge of your safety with a family emergency plan and an essential emergency kit. Stay informed and connected during emergencies. For tips and resources, visit us online or contact the Milwaukee County Office of Emergency Management. Prepare now, stay safe, and build a resilient community together, because readiness starts with you.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. You can count on the Brewers to host an event your crew won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, I'm going to be here, it seems like, forever. So I got here at about noon, and I'm doing show prep and looking at stories that everywhere from ABC to Politico to CNN to MSNBC to looking at all news sources, seeing what's going on. I'm going around talking to people in the media. How do they see us? How does the British Broadcasting see us? How does NPR see the city? How does Reuters, right? All these European stations, how do they see Milwaukee? What do they hear, you know? And then we have the shooting, and some people were kind of, and other people were kind of like, but, you know, I reminded them that wasn't us, and it was an anomaly. And one of the things that is important to remember about that particular shooting is that the Milwaukee Police Union had a lawsuit against the state of Milwaukee to not release body cam footage, right? So there was the argument that they didn't want to release it within 48 hours. Well, the union is dropping its lawsuit over the Milwaukee Police Department's timeline to release police body camera video of police shootings and other critical incidents. The Police Association said that based on the dismissal of the suit, it understands MPD's body camera policy, SOP 575, will likely take effect in the near future. The policy, called as Standard Operating Procedure 575, mandates that Milwaukee police release body camera video of incidents where officers cause death or serious injury within 15 days instead of the department's current self-imposed 45-day timeline. Family victims will get to see the video within 48 hours or 2 days. It has been, while it's dropped the lawsuit, the MPA, Milwaukee Police Association, said it's still concerned about releasing body cam video so quickly. And they said in a news release, releasing body camera footage before investigations have reached their logical conclusion is both short-sighted and may ultimately have a negative impact on the quality of the outside investigation, the union said in a news release. I agree and I disagree. The district attorney's office will now have to have a step-by-step relationship with the investigating agency so that they understand every step of the way what's going on and they can make a decision about whether to charge or not charge and what the evidence says sooner, instead of having 15 days to take their time and slow walk it. Does that make sense? The way that Columbus, Ohio they checked with the police department and said, hey, I don't know about you, but these were our officers and we're going to release this tonight. And so if you have any issues, you have any problems, we're going to release it tonight. And so they released the police footage. We saw it. We saw what happened. We saw what was believed to have happened. We saw what we think is a good shooting. Not we, but some of us think is a good shooting. However, I always want to caution, you have to look at the family. Like, you have to look at the family of the victim. Unfortunately, the media plays an inordinate, they spend an inordinate amount of time looking at the victim who was shot by police and not looking at the victim who was saved by the police. You've got two sets of families. You've got two people, and both of those lives matter. The one that was taken and the one that was saved. Unfortunately, I see a lot of media only pay attention to the fact that the police did the shooting. And I understand the angst. I understand the issues they have with it. It was an unfortunate case of having to use deadly force. A lot of times people don't understand that in order to use deadly force, you have to have a weapon, you have to have intent, and you have to have a delivery system, right? In this case, his weapons were the knives, his delivery system was his arms, and his intent, he literally took a step toward the victim to stab them. Do you wait until he stabs them? Things of that nature. So now that we have it, now that we understand and know, they're going to still continue to look at how all these things happen. So I think it'll be okay. I think the city will make it. I think the city will work its way through all the things that are going on and all the problems that we've had. I see a lot of construction around the city. They're building out a lot of the those bump outs so that we can slow down speeding and slow down those issues. But you know, it's something we have to do. 833-212-1017 is the number. Make sure you remember you can check us out on YouTube at 1017 The Truth and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. You can see me sitting here on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. In the 5 o'clock hour, of course, we'll have our top 5 at 5, and we'll have other things going on. But let me check the text. Brian said the union is full of, well, I can't say that word. It was gang murder. I understand your sentiment, but if you watch the video, that's what the district attorney decided. Traffic cam shows him lowering and cowering. The traffic cam video was so grainy and slow, you couldn't even tell what was in his hand. And there was no detail. Go back and look. Don't listen to me. If that's one thing I can tell you, don't listen to me. Go and check it out for yourself. And so Brian, he did lower his hands because he was about to wind up, and he took a step towards him, and his arms were starting to raise up. So I think we see what we want to see, and I'm not going to argue or debate what you saw, whether it was right or wrong. You believe what you want to believe. I think one of the things we have to do is recognize that there were two families that were impacted here. I'm sure the family of the gentleman who was about to get stabbed was happy that he's alive. So then I heard somebody say, hey, you know, we heard that this guy was harassing him, and we heard that this guy was causing trouble, and we heard that this guy, and I said, okay, so now we're victim shaming. Victim shaming. And then Brian said 48 hours to get the fake story out. Well, why would you think it's always a fake story? I guess if you did something or you're accused of something, we should let you sit for what, a month and be under that much stress and all those issues. So, I mean, if that's how you want to roll, you know. And here's my other thing. Anybody that believes that they think that they know what's best in law enforcement should sign up for a police academy. If you can't sign up for a police academy, sign up for one of those mini academies where you get to sit through and learn exactly what it is a law enforcement officer does. And then I think your thinking will change. Because I think that you think that all you have to do is make a split decision and then get it done. And that's not how life works. That is just absolutely not how life works. Marvin said, Dr. Ken, there will always be a group of people that support foolishness. Well, I don't know if we can call, I understand what you're saying, Marvin, but I don't know if we can call what someone else believes foolishness. They honestly believe that, that's what they believe. And you can't take that away from people. You can't change it. You can't adjust it, And I understand what it is you're saying. Some people will always get it wrong. Some people just don't like the police. They don't like homelessness. They don't like whatever it is. They don't like it. And they're going to run with it no matter what. Brian said black men need an executive order of protection for black men, period. What does that even mean, Brian? And it's unfortunate that when you disagree with people, Brian, you call them out of their name. But that's exactly my issue. Argue the point. What do you mean we need that? Why is, if Marvin thinks that it's foolishness, why are you calling Marvin out of his name?
That was perfect.
Why don't you argue Marvin's point?
That voice sounded so good.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm Dr. Ken Harris. When we come back, we'll have our top 5 at 5. This hour has gone completely fast. I want to thank you for being here. We're live at the RNC here on Media Row in Panther Arena. We'll be here till 9 p.m. tonight. I'm Dr. Ken Harris, live at the RNC.
The 1017 The Truth Street Team, sponsored by UW Credit Union, is coming to an event near you. Saturday is a full day of fun with The Truth. We kick the day off with our Walk Against Violence starting at 10 a.m. at Victory Over Violence Park. Then we want you to join us from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. as we will be at the annual Garfield Days Festival celebration at 502 West Garfield Avenue. This festival will have live music, food, and great activities for the entire family. The 1017 The Truth Street Team is sponsored by UW Credit Union. They are here for every you.
Truth Nation, our Beyond the Mic Happy Hour Mixer series has been a hit this summer. I want you to join me and my Truth teammates for our next installment of Beyond the Mic, Friday, July 26th, from 5 until 7 p.m. at the Mo Bay Cafe, located at 1022 South 1st Street in Milwaukee. There will be delicious cocktails, great conversation, Chula Vista Resort giveaways, plus Dr. Ken will be broadcasting his show live from 4 until 6 p.m. So mark your calendars for Friday, July 26th, from 5 until 7 p.m. at the Mo Bay Cafe.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think. Stargardt disease was supposed to define me.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down.
A blinding eye disease attempted to force me away from doing what I was born to do.
But it cannot stop me. I have the tools.
I will keep moving forward.
Pushing past the limits of this disability.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Loss of sight won't blind our vision. Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I
got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Once again, every time I try to do my top 5 at 5, I get Shar, I get Winky Blue, I get Brian, I get Black Eye. Everybody start calling. So I guess we'll have to do it in the next segment. Shar, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth live from the RNC.
Hi. I haven't listened to you before, and I regret it. I'm glad I listened to you because you have a good perspective. You know, why the biggest threat to black people in Milwaukee is young black men killing each other. You know, I'm not saying there aren't reasonable doubts about certain police use of force that they have to justify. What we should be marching about is young black men killing each other. I told somebody the other day, black men have put the Klan out of business. They don't have to kill young black anymore because they're killing each other.
Wow.
You know, think about that. Every day in Milwaukee, there's some young black man killing another black man or shooting at another black man. So for people to talk about there's a target on black men, the target is from other black men.
But also, you have to admit that what the media shows and how we're portrayed, it is not as frequent as people try to make it out.
I think I'll do the two music.
Would you at least agree to that?
I do, but I'm saying if you look at statistically, who's killing black men in Milwaukee?
Sure. But that's not a byproduct of it being bad black men, even though they are.
No.
Most people kill people they know, and they kill people within their circle. And so if you're white, most white people kill white people. Black people kill black people.
Right.
Hispanic, Asian.
And you're right, but people who are doing this random shooting, targeting people, are killing innocent people too.
Correct.
Who goes up to a car and shoots at a car with children in it? You know what I'm saying? We need to. I'm not saying we need to. We need to fight any type of racism. That's not my point. I'm saying, but we do need to clean house. And I can hear what I like what you say. You do point out foolishness, and I do appreciate that. You know, my biggest fear every day I drive is somebody who has no plate who speeds and turns in front of me.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, I can't drive in my neighborhood no more.
Okay. I'm in total agreement. It's hard. I don't even have words for you because I understand exactly how you feel.
Yeah, and I appreciate you bringing a different perspective. I hope more black people are listening to you. It's not either or. It's let's look at ourselves too simultaneously.
Okay. Make sure you check us out on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. That way you can watch us and listen at the same time.
Oh, I already do, darling. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it, Shar. 833-212-1017 is the number. Winky Blue, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What's going on, man?
Hey, good afternoon, sir. I'm trying to figure out the guy that the brother was into it with, because sometimes, when we need some hired hands, we go down around the breach, and some of those guys, we pay them a fair wage to help us on the days if we got a big project and we need somebody to do something for us. So I'm wondering, the gentleman that was in the confrontation, the one that didn't get killed, I'm trying to find out what was his name. Is he a regular around there, or where did he come from, or had he been knowing these guys? It's a real coincidence, Dr. Ken, and I'm not going into any conspiracy theory, but my thing was that as soon as the guy from Ohio got chosen to be the VP, we got police here from all over the country. Why it have to be from Ohio? You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not sure the guy from Ohio knew that the police department from Ohio was going to shoot somebody.
No, we understand that, but I'm just saying, isn't that a ironic coincidence? And
I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences.
You don't believe in coincidence?
No, sir. Stuff happens for a reason.
Okay.
That's just me.
Now,
it's okay. I'm not trying to change your mind or anything. I'm just saying I don't believe in coincidence.
No. You said you don't believe in coincidence, so something just can't magically happen because of a circumstance. It just is set to be that way. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I believe that life is going to happen no matter what you intercede, and even if the fact that you intercede in it, that was supposed to happen.
I'm trying to find out who the guy was that was finna get stabbed, and that's what I want to know.
I can't. I don't know how you would get that information. My assumption, and I don't even know who investigated.
No. I'll be down there by the breach. I'll be down there. I know them people, man.
Finish?
So that's what I'm. Sure, go ahead.
You ask me a question, and then you if you want to know who the guy is, whoever investigated it has it. Repairs of the breach probably has it. But again, I think you should respect that person's privacy, because if that person wanted to be, outed, so to speak, they would have put it out there. He's a victim.
No, what I'm saying is my concern is he a local, or is he somebody, a stranger just on the set? That draws a whole different conclusion on my theories, So, but anyway, man, if the boy had a knife and he was out there doing crazy things, the man said drop the knife, you're supposed to drop the knife. That's just simple as that, okay? We know
Very
that,
true.
And so that's that. But there's other things that I would like to. I'm gonna find out who this guy is. If I find out who he is, it's an open investigation. So
there's no such thing as an open investigation. There's no such thing as an open investigation when you're a victim. You can decide whether or not you want to have your name released.
So the victim can come to your show and tell you what was going on.
Sure, they could, but if they don't want to, they have that right as well.
Right. Well, if he don't want to, he don't have to.
It's not an open investigation, so yeah.
Right. Okay. That could have been his friend. They could have been. It could have been his friend.
That's true.
And these guys horseplay like that all the time. And these other guys didn't understand that. And I'm still tripping out. Why are they so far away
but you're
from
making assumptions, and we don't know. We just don't know.
Right, we
can second guess this.
I know in a little while. I will know in a little while. But I appreciate you taking my call, my man.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate you. 833-212-1017 is the number. Brian, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
How you doing? I just had my comment. So I've been doing this black talk stuff since the 80s. And I've watched people rise to the top in black media and fall in black media. There was a guy by the name of Warren Ballantyne that did an interview with Ku Klux Klan Grandmaster years ago, talking about who's on the police force throughout the country and what their agendas and motives were. So, being that these folks were from Ohio, they've already been shown to shoot black men 59 times without even an apology or any type of years ago, Warren said they had the most.
Brian, I don't know where you are, but Brian, I'm hearing every second or third word that you're saying. So are you in a good place so your phone is clear? It's really
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Now you're clear. Okay.
Okay. Basically what I'm saying is black men need an executive order of protection against the police.
So then how would you get help from the police? Because if the police can't come around you, what, y'all gonna police yourself? We had a lot of shootings in Milwaukee where black men kill black men.
That's not the point. I'm talking about traffic stops. I'm talking about initial.
No, we're not gonna. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Obviously, it's not gonna happen because everybody's so disjointed and they can't see anything when it comes to common sense. It doesn't take overshoot to stop a black person from doing something nefarious. It doesn't take that. And you see the results of doing retarded things. 5 people shooting one person. I don't care what he was about to do, He didn't do it. But you took it upon yourself to have 5 people empty a clip into a black man.
They did not empty their magazine. They did not empty their magazine. There weren't enough bullets for them to empty their magazines. Their magazines have at least 15 plus 1. So 5 times 15 is 60 plus another 5 for each bullet. There is absolutely no way they emptied their magazine, because if they did, you would have heard a significant amount of more shots than what you heard. So don't sit there and say that. What?
It was egregious nonetheless. It was wrong nonetheless.
I wouldn't say it's wrong. I would say it was egregious. Maybe 2 or 3 shots, but
maybe none. Maybe one. How about one?
Maybe
it only takes one bullet to stop a person.
How about at least one time? And thank you for your call, Brian, because I got to take a break. How about for just one time you actually look at the victim of a crime in Milwaukee and have some freaking compassion for them? Notice I said freaking. Have some compassion for the person that almost died or died. Do we ever do that? We only care when it's the police. But a black man can kill another black man. You got nothing to say about it? No marching, no screaming, no hollering, no getting upset? What about the victim who's now alive because his or her life was saved? What is that? Woman gets beat, trying to kill. Man tries to kill his wife or girlfriend, living girlfriend. Police show up, intercede. Unfortunately, end up having to take the man's life. And we don't say anything about the woman, the victim. We talk about the guy. Let's talk about both. But let's not just pick one side because you don't like the police. I get the fact that you don't like the police. I understand. I've been jacked up by them while I was a cop, after I was a cop, before I was a cop. I get it. So we just dismiss victims now? We got kids. We got babies in Milwaukee that are dead today. And y'all didn't march or scream one word. You didn't even cry for their mother. But if the police had fought with the person that shot and killed a baby, and they end up killing that person or hurting that person, you mad at the police for taking somebody off the street that harmed a child. Makes no sense to me. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm going to try to do my top 5 at 5 up next. We're live from the RNC.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention, returns next on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jammin' with Juice each and every day on 101.7 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 101.7 The Truth.
There are individuals in our community who certainly need health services, a variety of health services. What if they do not have health insurance? How can you serve that population?
Our community health center allows patients to come to our clinic regardless of their ability to pay, and that's part of our federal funding. You can come to our clinic and be seen based on what we call a poverty level. So anyone 200% or below a poverty level can be seen in our clinic for anywhere from $20 to $40 for that visit. So in other words, if your visit is a $400 visit and you fall on our sliding scale where you pay $20 for your visit, you would not be responsible for the $400. You'd only be responsible for $20 for that visit. Also, our pharmacy prescriptions are very, very affordable as well. Where you would normally pay, let's say for an inhaler, $240 a month for an inhaler, at our facility that would cost you about $4 or $5.
It's very good to know you guys have a sliding scale that makes it very, very affordable.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you're so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm gonna try to get to my talking tech, but it's just it's never too many callers. That's why I just love being late. So, I'm just saying I absolutely enjoy it. Sean, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Hi, good afternoon, Dr. Ken. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. I just want to say that I wholeheartedly agree with you when you made the statement that we are not concerned about the victim. There's always an uproar when there is a white person killing a black person or a cop killing a black person, and I feel that it should be just as much of an uproar, upset, a march when there's black-on-black crime, because we're killing off our own people, but there's no really uproar or discussion about that, or marching, or pastors coming out about black-on-black crime. There's a lot of that going on, and because we do lack morals, we don't have. I'm 58, so I grew up in the 70s when grandparents. We listened to grandparents. We listened to our older neighbors. We called the older elders Mr. and Mrs., and we were in the house by 8 o'clock. But then the young mothers come along, and instead of young mothers being parents, they're being friends to their children and forgetting how to raise kids. And then the grandmothers are getting just as young, and then the fathers are not really, and I'm not saying all, but there is a significant amount of fathers that is not in the household. So we have lost a lot of morals.
But do you understand why those fathers aren't in the household?
I do, and I'm not blaming anyone.
No.
Because,
answer that though. Why aren't they in the household?
I believe because of the system. I believe back in the early days that when parents, the fathers were not allowed to be in the home to get the welfare services. I believe.
And how much money do you think they lose in welfare if the father comes into the house? How much do you think they reduce welfare?
Well, I kind of work in the field, so the benefits stays the same as long as the father is in the household and it's a two-parent household. So they don't lose any cash benefits or food share benefits. They don't lose that. But that was before.
But if he's not there, does he get more? Does the mother get more? No, the amount stays the same. So if there's a two-family household and you have 1 or 11 children together, you still get the same amount. It no longer is an increase. Right. And so here's what happened. Back in the day, when there was a man there, they reduced it significantly, upwards of $20,000 less a year, because they expected the man to go to work. Even though the reason why they needed the help was because he couldn't find a job. So it was like a catch-22. That has just perpetuated itself generation after generation after generation. And so now here we are.
Yes. And indeed, and not even that far back in the day, because the W-2 program started in 1997. Prior to that, we had AFDC. Now, when we had AFDC, the household amount increased with the number of family members. And that's why, I don't know if you know who Teju and McGee is, but that's why they fought so hard, against W-2 being inducted into our welfare system. Yeah,
because you're generating generational dysfunction.
Exactly. But and now on the positive side of that as well, we look at welfare as a whole as something bad, but the system as it is now, we offer, various trainings, employment, a lot of services that will assist a family to becoming financially self-sufficient, independent of the state. But again, being on the inside, you look sometimes, and because you're dealing with generational curses of poverty, and sometimes in some families, that's all they know. So we have to work a little harder to help them change that mindset. But then when you talk about going to work or, doing work experiences, the first thing they say is, I'm not working for this welfare money. Okay, that's fine. Get a job and you won't have to work for welfare money. But if you're asking the system for assistance, that's what you have to do.
You gotta do.
And it's sad that the mentality is that way.
Is it a black person's mentality, or is it just human to want to get things for free and not pay for it?
No, it's it's a human mentality
Yes,
because
it
you
is.
have poverty in all races. It's not
Yes, you
just
do.
the black race.
Right.
You have poverty in all races. Like on the north side, in our offices, you may see primarily black people come into our office because this is
But that's
where
because
we
of
are.
the zip code. Correct.
Exactly. But if you go on the south side and south side, you're going to see just as many Latinos and Caucasian people over there. And so it's sad that that the system and the state and the country just primarily focus on what we're doing or what we're not doing as a people, when there are other races that's doing the same thing and hitting poverty the same way and taking advantage the same way, but we always get pounded on the most. So I
Yes,
agree
we
with
do.
you.
Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. I got some other folks holding on. You know, we'll talk forever.
Okay, you're right. Have a good one.
All right. Take care. Marlon, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, Dr. Ken, how you doing?
I just want to tell you, Marlon, that you're the reason why I'm not able to do my top 5 at 5 again. Now I got to wait till the next segment because you keep calling. All right, go ahead.
My bad. Yeah, so this whole shooting thing got me thinking of a couple things. Sherwin did say on his show yesterday that we don't talk about homelessness enough here in Milwaukee.
True.
Yeah, the guy was a veteran. He was a homeless veteran, and there's a lot of that stuff going around, and there's stuff out there to help veterans get homes or to get places, but you know, sometimes you deal with mental health issues, deal with a lot of different things.
Or sometimes you decide that you don't want it and you don't take it.
Exactly. You know, I deal with people every day who's homeless. Some of them are working, some of them they don't want it. They just don't want to be inside. They just rather not be part of it. But the other thing that's kind of disheartening or scary to me is, you know, you and Sherwin have been telling people, like, the way that police operate or things that happen. Yesterday, a guy called and said, the police said Sherwin said the police said drop the gun. And the guy was arguing with them saying, well, he did drop his hand. That's not the order that you got. You got the order to drop your weapon, not just put your hands down. You know, as a military person, I understand it as well. But it saddens me because if our community continues to fight back and say, hey, he said drop the weapon, I'm going to just put my hands down, there's going to be a lot more of this shooting and stuff going on. We need to understand the rules and the laws that are in place. We need to understand how to use those rules and laws to our benefit. But we also got to understand when we can push against them and when we can't.
Well, is there ever a time you can push against them when someone has a weapon pointed at you, ordering you, and giving you direction? Is there ever a time you can go against that?
No, not from my perspective.
Okay.
You know, not if I want to stay alive. So, yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Ken. Talk to you later.
Thank you much. All right, I'm going to squeeze another one in. Black Conscience, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I'm going to just be late.
Allow yourself some good help. I'm going to make it quick so you can get to your top 5 at 5. So, real quick, I just wish they would call, try to tell Grandpa Biden what to do, because when has it ever a grandparent listened to anybody younger than them on telling them what to do? Have you ever told your grandparent to do something and the first thing they tell you was, boy? So
if you don't get out of my face.
He'll make that decision. And I stand with you on that sentiment, because that was the problem I had with Black Lives Matter. When things was going down, right after that we had a shooting in our beloved Chicago, and there was nothing. And then all during that time, nothing was said by them, no marches, no nothing. But soon as this happened, when it was the law enforcement, here we go, shut down the city, shut down the highway.
Right.
And I just had issues with that.
All right.
You know,
well, thank you much, sir.
With that. And peace and blessings.
All right, take care. I just want to get through all these calls before I go to break. Kiana, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Oh my God, I've been a whole 25 minutes.
I
trying to talk
sorry, I've been
to you.
trying to get through. Y'all keep trying to call, and I'm getting everybody. Well, should I went to break and then made you wait another, 3 minutes?
Yeah, because then now you're going to brush me.
So you're actually on the radio and you're complaining that you're on the radio, though you called to be on the radio.
Okay, listen. I don't know. You said something about people not liking the police. I don't know if you know. I've said this to you before. I love the police. I love what the police is supposed to stand for. But the way that a lot of these police officers act, their actions don't line up with what they're supposed to be doing.
But
I
don't
love the
say a
police.
lot,
My family
because I'm
calls
pretty
me
sure
the police because
on
I
one
will call the police at.
On one hand, you can't count 5 bad cops that you know.
It's not just 5 of them. I wish it would. It's more like 5 good ones in a barrel of bad ones.
You and I both know that that's not true any more so than all the black criminals in Milwaukee represent all black people.
And that is correct because they're.
We know
that. But you have to understand you have a group. No, because listen to me. You have the group that's bad cops.
No.
But then there's a whole other group of cops that are not bad, but they're not doing anything about the bad cops. So they're in that group as well.
That's not true. You don't understand the culture. I can only speak to the culture at the Milwaukee Police Department. I've testified and went to court.
I get it.
And put cops in jail.
I get it.
Number one. Number two,
I get it.
Most cops will dime you out. Most cops will call somebody that could then start watching you, all that, because you still have to work in that culture. Let me finish. You'll never see it because it's not for you to see. You're not a cop and you're not in that culture. But you need to understand
something. But I've had situations.
No, you haven't. You are not a police officer.
I've had, yes. No. I've had personal situations with police officers.
I ain't talking about personal situations about you not. You are not a police officer. That means when you go to work every day, when you call for help, you want to make sure help is going to come when you call for help. So that means that there are some things about the culture you have to deal with in order to be able to go home at night. You may not like it. It may not be fair. No, you don't get it because you're not a cop. Any more so than I would get being a woman. I could think about it, but I can't because I'm not a woman.
Okay, well then how is it that I've had
I got
so
a wife
many...
and 2 daughters. I got 2 sisters, but I'm not a woman.
I've had countless situations where I've run into police who are no good and who's with a partner who just sit there. They sit there, and I'll even address that partner. I said, are you not going to get your friend? Are you not going to get your partner? Are you not going to stop him from doing what he's doing? And you know it's illegal. You know it's not right.
What did the officer do after that? You don't know after they left. You don't know if he dimed them out and called internal affairs. You don't know.
No, he should stop him he should stop him in the moment. Stop him from doing it. Don't just tell them that they're doing it.
You can talk all that beautiful stuff if you want to, but when you're sitting on 20th in college fighting with somebody or 2 people who are trying to kill you and you call for help and nobody's coming and nobody's responding, there are some things about every I do know that. You don't know that because you've never done it before. Ever.
Just like your experience, because you were on the other end, and not everybody, because I know other police officers, and they have a whole different experience than you, Dr. Ken. A completely different experience. I've known some that have quit.
They don't have a completely different experience.
And I've known some who have moved.
Let me finish. They have different experiences, but I guarantee you all cops have about 40 to 50% of the exact same experience because the culture does not change, and you just have to. You don't really have to accept it. I'm not defending it. I'm telling you what it is. And so there are other avenues that you don't know about that officers are able to get other bad officers off the job. But I still have to keep my integrity because when I call for help, I want somebody to come help me.
And I get it, me too. But you took up all my time. I wanted to talk about the welfare and all of that. The lady talking about the welfare.
Hold on. Well, why don't you hold on, Kiana, and I'm going to go to break, and when I come back, you can tell me about welfare. You only got 30 seconds when we come back because you talk a lot.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
All right, so make sure you hang on. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We are live from, where are we at? Where are we? We're at the RNC. We'll be right back.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention, returns next on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
Eagle Sports Range has an unbeatable offer on concealed carry license classes. For just $49, enroll in their 3-hour class led by expert instructors prioritizing safety. Learn laws, techniques, and mindset for responsible carrying. Stick around for an optional hour of range time with instructors included in the package. Practice under professional guidance and gain confidence. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day at 2525 East Layton Avenue in Cudahy. Secure your spot at eaglesportsrange.com. Eagle Sports Range, where safety meets skill.
Donald Driver and Cousin Subs are teeing up to offer you a chance to win a golf experience of a lifetime. From June 10th to July 21st, you can enter to win a foursome in the 4th Annual Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame golf outing at the Brute Golf Course in Lake Geneva on July 29th. The grand prize winner will also get a VIP meet and greet with Double D himself, breakfast and lunch, and 4 $100 Cousins gift cards. Enter today at cousinsubs.com/drive to win.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
Have you ever heard of the saying, health is wealth? Or eat your food as medicine before you have to take your medicine like it's food? Well, I'm maturing in age and I'm starting to realize what it means to truly value my health. Lately, I've been paying attention to what I'm putting in my body by making changes to my diet and adding exercise to my daily routine. Look, I love to eat, and I have not always been conscious of reading the labels. My motto used to be, if it tastes good, it's all good. Now my motto is eat better, get stronger, and live longer. The truth is, it's important to make positive adjustments that will increase your health long term. I might not be a guru on nutrition, but I do know you are what you eat. And even if you decide to eat better, you still have to watch out for processed foods, PFAs, GMOs, and other man-made chemicals that could negatively impact your health. So remember to detox your body as often as you can. There are many ways to go about this, so do your research and check with your doctor if you have pre-existing conditions. At the end of the day, it's your life, your health, and we have to make sure we're taking time to do the proper maintenance on ourselves. Also, make sure you choose a diet and exercise routine that works for you. I'm excited about this new journey that I'm on to properly take care of my body, and I hope I can encourage you to get excited about your health as well. Eat better, get stronger, live longer. Now start eating powerful.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Eastbound on 94, got pockets of heavy traffic heading right past 76th Street to about Holly Road, and then again through the Stadium interchange, and then one more time heading through the Marquette, turning northbound where there is a broken down vehicle on that ramp to get on to northbound 43. So heads up with that. Still going to be slow all the way up past Fond du Lac Avenue, and then you'll be back on the brakes just south of Center Street up past Keefe. Southbound 43 is really heavy. We're looking at delays from Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe, almost to Burleigh, so give yourself some extra time with that. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear with a low of 61. Tomorrow, sunny and nice, a high of 78. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Alex Tellez. Over in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers have the next 2 days off as their first game post All-Star break is scheduled for Saturday in Minnesota versus the Twins. First pitch is scheduled for 6:10. The Brewers sit at first place in the NL Central with a 4.5 game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. And finally, over in basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks Summer League team gets the day off this Thursday as they prepare for their game on Friday versus the Phoenix Suns at 3 o'clock. The Bucks Summer League team is still searching for their first win of the Summer League after losing their first 3 games. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention, returns next on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
In the afternoon, I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Where's that troublemaker, Kiana? She's still on the line.
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Take 1 minute and tell me what you want to say.
Okay. So, first of all, people do march against violence. Black on black, white on white, violence in general. People march against violence, period. And what do you expect a black person to do when they are around other black people? It's going to be black on black crime. The statistics show that there's just as much white on white crime, but it's reported completely different, which is why you can't believe that mess. Second of all, you talk about welfare. I'm not badgering the lady, but I'm just saying you talk about welfare, and you do realize welfare was developed in, the Great Depression, and you have to understand that white people got just as much welfare as black people, but they were treated different. They got more. Exactly. Black people they had to be without husbands. It was supposed to be just women and children and elderly and disabled. But white families, whole families, were able to get way more in as a family. So that's where those curves and things that were thrown at black America, because you remember we had tens of thousands of small businesses and all of our businesses got shut up. Actually, they had jobs where they would fire all the black people if there were white people in that neighborhood that didn't have jobs.
Correct.
So when we march against police brutality or any of these things, it's because the system as a whole is corrupt and
but you can't fight a
black
system
people.
as
It's
a whole.
developed that way.
But you can't fight a system as a whole. You have to fight it step by step. You have to fight it.
People do what they can do. Just like on the Tory Lowe show, the woman said, I do what I can do, you do what you can do, and he can do what we can do, instead of trying to sit here and do nothing just so we can be on the same page. Somebody has to do something.
But there still has to be a plan.
At all times.
There still has to be a plan.
I get it, but we're all never going to be on the same page, which is why I tell people I'm not totally against Republicans.
We can take different parts of the same plan. That's all.
But that's if we agree on the plan.
You're missing my point. The plan is made up. If a plan is made up of 10 things, then there's 10 different things that all of us wanted in the plan. You do your one of the 10-point plan. Don't worry about the rest of it.
But sometimes one thing contradicts the other.
Now you're coming up with excuses. See, now you're coming up with excuses, right?
No, that's lies.
We are never going to be all on one accord. That doesn't mean we can't work together.
Exactly. But I mean, that's just the way the world works. That's not just black people.
Right. But then why is it
that's
other
the way
people
the
are able
world
to do
works.
it and we can't? Then why is it other people can do it and we can't?
Because most other races, they believe what each other believes.
No. See, you keep telling me about somebody else, and I'm asking you
Look
about
at how
you.
Republicans.
I don't
I'm just
care.
saying,
Listen to the question, Kiana. Why can't
me
us,
personally?
black
I can.
people? Why can't we? Oh, okay. All right.
I can.
I heard it now, so I'm gonna be looking for you Saturday at the Walk for Violence.
And you talk about victim blaming. You always talk about victim blaming, but you yourself on a previous show told me that the predator or the person who commits the crime has just as much rights. So, with that being said, I'll end this conversation.
No. Put that in context.
What? As far as the
Constitution,
shooting, you talk about.
Absolutely, but you don't have a right to take someone else's life, and when you're in the commission of taking someone else's life and you lose yours.
Neither does the police.
You don't. But
neither does the police.
Yes, they do. The police has a right to do that.
They don't.
What are you even? Yes, they do. They're the police. What are you talking about?
That is not what they are supposed to do.
I'm not saying that's what they're supposed to do.
That's what they're allowed to do.
So what you need to do is go back and read statute. So you need to go back and read the United States Constitution, read Statute 164 and 165 and the Wisconsin state statutes, and you'll understand what police can and can't do.
I have, but I can't recite it word for word, but I have, sir. Yes, I have.
Okay.
They are not supposed to.
They're not
they just be allowed to.
They're not supposed to.
They were not supposed. They're not supposed to take a life when there's another option.
You are supposed to act And that action is based on your training and experience. My experience says that when a person draws a knife, no. And okay, but what you're missing is I'm not assessing it through your eyes. I'm assessing it through my training and experience. And my training and experience said, why don't you let me finish, Kiana? Because you asked me a question.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And this way, when a person is about to draw a knife back and stab somebody, they have the three things you need in order to use deadly force. You have a weapon, you have a delivery system, and you have intent. The fact that you took a step towards a person and you were drawing back and raising your arms up to stab them with two knives in your hand, I've got all three. Had he not done it, the same group of people would have complained that he didn't save the person's life. So which one do you want? The police are stuck between a rock and a hard place.
No.
Okay.
That situation did not deserve.
You were not there, and if you stabbed your husband 20 times when he beat you, I can tell you that you should have just stabbed. See? That's what I'm talking about. Bye, Kiana. See, I'm done with Kiana.
Bye.
Bye. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We're not going to do Top 5 at 5 today. I just got a feeling because we still got other people holding on and other people hanging around. So we'll get to the town, Speed, the caller, Carolyn. Hey, we're live from the RNC. We'll be right back.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention, returns next on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
Truth Nation, it's Telly Hughes from Truth Be Told with Denise Thomas and Telly Hughes, and I have to let you know that the best morning show in the country is streaming live on YouTube every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yes, DT and I are now waking you up in the a.m. live every weekday on YouTube. So go to YouTube right now to subscribe to 1017 The Truth so you can watch Denise and I get your morning started off right. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Nope. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Truth Nation, join the Center for Leadership of African Women's Wellness from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, July 27th for their prestigious Wine, Women, and Wings Red Carpet Affair and fundraiser. Enjoy food, drinks, music, fellowship, and fun at this summer event. So join them Saturday, July 27th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at St. Francis Parish, 1937 North Bell Phillips Avenue. Tickets can be purchased on their website at claww.org/events.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the Republican National Convention on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm going to have to do 30 seconds with each one of these to make sure squeeze around. Who's next? The caller?
Yes, I'll get my 30 seconds in real quickly, I guess. The Columbus Police Department is the third most murderous police department in this country, coming in third behind Chicago and New York, which are far larger cities. They murdered 30 black adults, 5 black children, and have retaliated against people like you. If you would have ever told on any of them, if you would have been a Columbus cop, your family would not be safe with that. So these are not the kind of people who should have been at an event like the RNC anyway. They were unfit, and the fact that our chief didn't realize that made both of these gentlemen victims, because yes,
the chief doesn't get to choose that. The chief didn't choose that.
Better shot, because I'm a military person. I can shoot a knife out of somebody's hand. I can say get on the ground.
Well, that would be ridiculous to do in a city.
Feet, and they'll drop a knife, and they didn't do that.
That would be ridiculous to do in a city. They're not trained that way. So you and I both know that. You saying God bless ain't going to change something. You saying God bless ain't going to change
nothing. Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye. Love you too, brother. Bye. 833-212-1017 is the number. The Town, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hello? Yeah.
Hello, I'm here.
I mean, like, outside. Do you hear me? Hello?
End of the show now. I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead. What are you waiting for?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, I just wanted to say, though, you obviously is biased for police. But you were police before, so, okay, I get that.
But why wouldn't I be? Isn't that ridiculous? It's like people being biased for the military.
I'm giving you that.
Okay. All right.
But listen, why is there's it's always a lack of responsibility from the police, which gives...
That's not always a lack.
It's all... Most of the time, look, okay, you say the man got shot. You always got an excuse for the police every time.
Not true. Not
every
true.
Time.
Not true.
20 times. 20 times.
True.
Hold on. This man was shot 20 times. He was shot 20 times, and he had a knife. You don't think it was better ways to take care of that than having an out-of-state cop, which, according to the last caller, comes from a trigger-happy town, third, behind New York and Chicago? And you let this guy work, and he getting paid overtime, and he kills a person for a knife, and not even in his city. And you giving us all the reasons why the police ain't wrong. One time the police got to be wrong, bro, even if you're police.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is that we didn't call him here. Like, the Milwaukee didn't call him. The Secret Service brought them in. The Secret Service. Like, we don't make any of those choices. Why don't you stop talking and let me finish? Because you keep going and going, but you got to let me finish, man. You asked me a question. We didn't call them in. They work for the RNC, and the Secret Service vetted everybody that came here. Milwaukee Police Department didn't send out a note and ask everybody to come here. They didn't beg everybody to come. They're all under the auspices of the RNC. You got a beef with the RNC.
So the reason why this man is dead is because of the RNC?
The reason why the man is dead is because he was trying to kill someone, and the police saved the other person's life. Take the whole story. If you want to have a beef with the police, I get it. I got a beef with the police sometime too. But don't look at half the story and then pretend like that's the only thing that happened. They saved that man's life.
Right quick.
Okay, you got 5 seconds.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes.
Do you think there was a better way to deal with that situation other than 20 shots?
There might have been, but armchair quarterbacking and not being there, I'm not going to answer that. It's okay. All right, then. Bye. You're not going to listen? Goodbye. 833-212-1017 is the number. Do you want to try to squeeze them in? I got like 2 minutes. I got like 2 minutes. All right. Which one we at? All right. So you do the same thing everybody else does. So we're going to have a guest We'll talk to him for about 2 minutes toward the end of the show. Patrick Penn. So from what I understand, you are a military veteran.
Absolutely.
And you are, let me guess, a member of the best fraternity I've ever heard of in the world, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity.
Man, my lips froze and your ears froze just hearing you say that.
And so you're the only Republican black elected official in the entire state of Kansas.
In the entire state on any echelon.
And what office do you hold?
I'm a state legislator, so I'm in the state house.
Okay. You're in the state house?
Yes, sir. I ran my first election in 2020. Won that one, and I've been serving ever since, so we're in re-election mode right now.
Okay. Why Republican as a black man?
Well, my identity is wrapped up in Christ, and as a Christian, I'm conservative with both my pocketbook and my principles, meaning my social and my fiscal policy. And because I'm conservative, I choose to caucus with the Republican Party.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where we found our home. That's the one that I identify most with. And if you came down to the issues, for me, it's the issue of life. I was raised in foster care. I was supposed to be aborted. My mother told me before she passed. And bottom line up front, I think that all life is precious because, I did 20 years in the military, served with honor and integrity, joined Alpha Phi Alpha, and got to the State House. And if I had been, terminated in the womb, wouldn't have been able to provide that blanket of security for the people that I love.
All right. Well, I appreciate meeting you. Patrick Penn.
Frat. Love it.
All right.
High school.
Have a good one, brother.
Hey.
Take care. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, make sure you hang around if you want to talk because we'll be taking calls and all sorts of things later because we will be here till 9 p.m. You can check us out right here on The Truth or you can check us out on 620 WTMJ. Make sure you keep YouTube going. And at 6 o'clock, we'll keep going. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Impact 2024. Live at the RNC will begin in a few minutes. So God bless. Take care. I can't say out because I'm in for another 3 hours. See you on the other side.